basically what I've been up to as far as keeping my league going. I've been doing a lot of standard and a lot of league farming, and this is basically an update and to kind of get a look into, how I sustain currency and how I get things done, best I can. So, without further ado, I'll be getting right into that and showing off just a little bit of the farming and everything like that. However, I'm not going to be doing too much mapping in this video. It's just going to be a little bit of talking. So don't expect like me to just go around a bunch of maps real quick. So first things first, I have officially started killing Cyrus, but I've only been doing Cyrus Awakener 5. Now I've been doing experiments with this and testing out exactly what the difference between 8 and 5 is. On average, 1 out of every 3 or 4 runs is an awakened gym. Sometimes 1 out of 5 or 6, just depends. But it's the same thing on Awakener 5, and I've tested this both in Standard and in League, so I'm basically going to be testing doing Awakener 5 Standard in League for the rest of this league, just to kind of see how I like it. I've already found a added cold and a couple other decent gyms, but that's beside the point. So, on top of doing what I've been doing, the lab runs, and basically doing enchantment services, usually I charge about 6 exalts for a targeted enchant on one player's item. Mind you, this is PS4 pricing. Everything on PS4 is inflated, so if you're new here and you're looking for like, hey, this is accurate to PC, it's not. So I have basically not only started enchanting, I've started double corrupting, and I've sold a couple of decent ones that are really expensive, and then I also have some really good ones that are expensive as well, such as the memory vault with sentinels and stuff like that. On the side, I have started farming for resonators. Now, I have started farming for resonators, but I haven't been doing any kind of mapping that has to do with resonators, any kind of delving that has to do with resonators and getting them. I've been doing purely mapping. And if I go to my Nico, Einhar, where are you, Nico? There you are. And I go to Subterranean Chart, you can see I am still at depth 2000, but I have a lot of those resonators from literally doing mapping. What that is from, let me see if I can find Xana here. Sorry, I'm pretty blind right now. There she is. And then I should, oh, I'm not able to look at it. So let's go to our hideout. If I go into our atlas and look at our watchstones, we are farming our conqueror, and we are farming this area just with rogues, and then on top of that we have this node spec'd in for Mad Devotion and Out of the Blue. I've already gone over this to try and explain what I'm doing, and this is giving me passive currency farm, basically as I'm doing the maps. And when I'm not doing maps, I go to Delve. I go to Blight. I can't even think today. I go to Lab, and I run lab enchantments for people who have interest and are paying me a set price for it. So it's kind of nice to do really quick maps such as Canyon, go in, click the little X, or click the little box, get free Azurite, and repeat this process, and then come out with a whole bunch of resonators for passive chaos. On top of any ultimatums you decide you want to complete and anything like that, that's up to you. And if this holds through to next league, I will probably be using this starting from day 1, or at least day 2 or 3, once I get, a little bit of levels in it and whatnot, and showing you, how I sustain getting a lot of early currency this way. So on top of that, we also are farming up here for master missions. And the way we're doing that is we actually have, let me see, is it up here? Okay. I think it's in standard. Pretty sure it's in standard, unfortunate. Well, we have 4 watchstones with allies. Allies says you have % chance to gain master missions. With that, we also have the notable up here. Yep, it's in standard. And that notable allows us to basically farm as much as we want in this area, turns in to get free master missions over and over again. Now, I will go and I'll make you a new video to kind of show you this farming method, but that's what else I'm doing to just kind of burn time and get currency and get stuff up and whatnot. aside from that, we have been pretty doing pretty well. As you see, we have our headhunter. We have crafted up crazy boots. Now I'm going to make a video pretty soon, probably really soon, on how to make boots exactly like these, and basically help you out on making your crazy boots. So if you can see here, these are 40 movement speed plus 8 on top, so 48 movement speed, can go up to 50 movement speed. We have boots that are as fast as 7 league steps with T1 mana, cannot be frozen, T1 int or essence int, T2 fire res. We can't get T1, I believe it's 83 for T1, and then a strength int modifier on it. These boots alone solve all of our strength and all of our intelligence needs by themselves, on top of having insane movement speed, and the enchant gives us the penetration with a little bit of resistance and cannot be frozen. This is literally best in slot for me right now. This gives me every single little bit of utility. It res caps me, it gives me all the attributes and all the stats I need, all in one package. So this is easier to make than it looks, and it's it's decently expensive, but it's very efficient to make these kind of boots. I've also made crazy gloves and crazy belt. We have this here, which is a T3 life, a flash does not consume charges, percent damage, T1 cold res, T1 chaos res with cooldown recovery rate. This is synthesized with cannot be frozen and increased stun duration on enemies. The stun duration doesn't really matter, but if you're using COC Nova, then you'll know that, you know, cooldown recovery with this kind of stats is probably going to be pretty close to best in slot for you, aside from maybe getting a headhunter and missing your cooldowns and stuff. But yeah. Then we have crazy gloves that we've made, which have a 67% average attack speed, phase converted to lightning, percent life, T2 life armor hybrid, crafted on life, T2 lightning. And again, we can't get T1 on the reses, so we settled T2 and basically called it a day. So these are basically all the projects I'm doing. And resonators, as you see here, I have them priced really cheap, 19C, 19C, 19C. I don't know what they're worth in PC, but I've been selling them and just getting constant flows of 19C, 19C, 19C back. And it's just a constant, like, you know, rush of stuff. Aside from that, I've also Isling slammed this axe, and this is another thing I wanted to kind of tell you. Please check all your items. I found this axe with the T3% and T2 flat. I figured I would Isling slam it and then throw it up in the market and see if someone wanted it. It can still be finished. You can still influence the suffixes with Warlord and give it more fizz. Maybe Isling for a or not a fizz. Sorry, not Isling. Give it more fizz and maybe quality in something craft, or you know, something like that. It shouldn't be too hard to finish this axe off really well and have a really insane DPS axe. I've also made some boots and stuff like that. I've been pretty busy. I also have some failed Chaos Orbs saved up, so that's cool. And we've been basically feeding a friend replicas. He's giving me replicas. So yeah, this is basically what we have, and this is my money sink project, which I currently have been doing. It's expensive. I'm like 60 divines. If I can get it to work, I will buy every other piece of this build, and hey, maybe I'll have fun. Maybe it won't happen, maybe it will. We'll see. But yeah, well, that's just me catching you guys up with everything, and without further ado, I do appreciate you tagging along with me in my league grind. And I will be showing you a little more about my standard grind and showing you like what I'm doing, where I'm going with everything. I do hope that you enjoyed this video series, and I hope that you tag along with me towards the end of this league and into next league. Thank you so much for watching, and as always everyone, take it easy and have a good one.